Good morning. Namaste. So I'm going to talk about an experience that happened a week ago. And this is going to be the most profound experience I've ever had. Definitely thus far. And it happened on Valentine's Day of all days, the night before. So we were in a place visiting family with me and my significant other, and we were visiting her family, which is my family too. We're all family. And I went through something the night before, Saturday the 13th. Some massive emotional things were hitting me in a very significant way to where I didn't feel like I could even be in that house anymore. And I didn't know why it was going on. It went on for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and I just sat in the car and I prayed and I prayed and I meditated and I just kept on asking the questions, what's going on, what's happening? I don't understand. And it was so significant that my significant other almost took me to my sister's house just so I could be somewhere, I don't know, somewhere quiet. And then the next morning, I wake up and I have this massive desire, I just need to be outside. I had to be outside. And through these videos, I talk about connecting with spirit, being one with spirit, how to walk in spirit, how to understand what that means, what those feelings are. And as you walk in spirit, you're shown and many things are revealed to you as you become more spirit and less so pertain to physical. And that morning I walked outside and I did my morning stretches, relaxations, and different things. Get some sun outside. Sun is important. Get some sun in your face. Some sun on the top of your head and your body and in your hands. Sun is very healing, purifying. It's very important for you. So I did my normal things that I do following spirit, stretches, movements that I've learned through spirit. And it took me over to a side, kind of walked through the yard, under the sun, looked at the sun, just thank you, just being thankful for just being alive and feeling life. I went over to this side of the house to where nobody really can see me. It was away from the patio, just kind of a nice area that had some cement. And it was direct sunlight. I didn't really realize, but I was just kind of following spirit. And the moment I just started to walk around and I got in that area, something clicked. I started to do different formations, different postures of different sorts. And my hands started to move different ways. Like, if you see my meditations that in the very, very beginning, over a year ago, I recorded myself doing meditations. I call them documented live meditations. My hands move, my arms move in different things, but it's not the same anymore. The energy flows through you. Whenever you allow the energy to flow through you and you don't have any more blockages, it can smoothly show you many, many things. So these different formations and things, I held these postures, different places, different stances, different movements, different understandings, different frequencies. But I held these postures and I was out there doing this for hours. I would say a good couple of hours, 3 hours or so, 3 hours or so, 4 hours. And something came out. Not something came out, but I came out of that state and it was beautiful and I was tears and it was crying. My heart was open. And I walked over to another side of the yard and I started to walk and do these formations and these spiral formations. I would go into one spot and I would start walking around in a spiral. I would stop And then I would go back the way perfectly to the center of the spiral again. And I would do this for about, I did this for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes going to the yard. And then I hit another spot into the yard and I started to do postures again. This time, the energy started to flow through my fingers a lot more significantly. And I held these for a while in the sun. And I've noticed that whenever the clouds went over the sun, my neck would turn and I would look away. And then I would look back up again. And I would look at the sun. And very, very systematic things that were actually occurring through these postures and different formations that I was doing. Then something happened. I came out of it, I went inside. I had something to eat. I spent some time with my significant other, and at that point I wanted to go home. Something inside me was just like, something is about to happen and I need to go home, to about ready to do something. I need to be away from people. My significant other didn't really understand. I didn't really understand either. I just had this really profound feeling that I needed to be in nature for a little bit. I needed to be outside, and I needed to be by myself. And it was very confusing. It was Valentine's Day. Of course, you know, if you look around, society puts Valentine's Day as the day to show that other person you love them. You should be showing everybody that you love them all the time and not wait for one day, to be honest. So don't wait for Valentine's Day. But this took place on that day. Had lunch, rice, tofu, something delicious, and it was wonderful. And I sat and my significant other asked me if I'm okay, and I said, yeah, we're gonna go home. And she asked me when. I said, soon. I want to go home soon. And I don't know where I didn't have anything else to say. I just know I needed to go home. I needed to be somewhere. I needed to go. Something was about to happen. And through all of this, I just felt like I kept on being called outside in the backyard. So I followed spirit. I followed the feeling. And through this entire time, I was blissful, I was happy, I was just so relaxed. And something inside my heart was happening. So I walked around outside a little bit in my bare feet, and it was wonderful to connect to earth. Important. Go outside, walk in the dirt, walk in the grass in bare feet. It's important. So there's this fig tree that produces figs. No, we always eat, and my significant other, we'd always have, and it's always delicious, it's wonderful. So I walked through the yard and I gravitated over to this fig tree. Kind of a spot over to one of the branches. Kind of in between some of the branches, under the tree. So I went under the tree a little bit, and I was just sitting there and the sun was shining through and it was beautiful. And I just felt, man, I want to go around the other side of the tree and just go inside of the tree. To where the whole tree is I'm just in it. It felt good. So I walked around the side and I got in the tree. Standing on the ground though. And I looked over to the side, something called me over to the side, and there was a branch that was near. So I went over and I just touched the branch, just like I always touch, and learn different things through intuition and understanding, being connected to spirit. And the moment that happened, I closed my eyes, and something very significant came over me. And I was unlocked. Whenever I say I was unlocked, I'm going to explain something to you. My right hand started to do all these different formations, and my arm started to move, and my heart started to flow, and I felt the energy through my whole body, and I knew every point, every pressure point, every moment, every movement, every way to heal anybody, anyone, energetically, physically. I knew every pressure point, every 72,000 pressure points on everybody, the combinations to every pressure point in order to do anything, and it started to flow through my body. And my hands started to move, my arms started to move, and started to do different things and understandings, I felt like it was like free, and the spirit started to move, and I started to flow, and I started to breathe, and it started to show me that I didn't have to do anything, and it just started to move through my arms and through my hands. And first it started on my right side, and the masculine took over, and that I understand that we're two polarities. The right side it's a masculine polarity. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just masculine. It's a characteristic of who you are. And this half side of me just started to flow, started to move, started to do these different formations and hand and mudras, and going through different parts to my neck, to my head, all the way around and all the way to on the other side, to the branches, to the trees, my eyes closed and just full in meditation. And I started to do all these different things, get on the ground and feel the earth in different ways and blessing from my heart and love and flow. And I was holding my water bottle. I held my water bottle the whole time, holding tea right now. And my left hand locked to my water bottle, and I just started doing these more formations, and it just made sense. Everything that I was doing made sense, complete, in tears and love and purity, and it was beautiful. And then my left hand, gave my water bottle to my right hand, and it started to flee free and into motions with movements, and everything started to go through, and my neck and my head and my forehead and all the sides, all the way around, and healing started to come through, and I felt me lock into the ground, and my feet locked into the ground, and I felt all my body, my hands, and going to the branches, and I just knew that was God. And I unlocked a very significant part of who I am. This took place. I started to come out of the tree, and the mudra started to come out of the tree. I started to bless the ground, bless the plants, bless the trees, coming from my heart and just in tears and doing all kinds of dances and beauty. And this went on for a good 3 hours, maybe even longer, 3-4 hours, all around the yard and all the way. I started to go into the patio and do different dances and bless the gym equipment and bless everything, bless the house, bless everything, just love and purity and connection I just knew how to love, how to do all rituals, how to heal my body. My hands started to go over parts of my body and start hitting different pressure points. And I started to realize who I was. So, Valentine's Day, I connected to a very significant realization. And that didn't stop. It's progressed for the past week. Every day, every moment. It's been a continuous, I need to be away, some time alone. I kind of walk in the closet. I've been every day for the past week. I have done different mudras, and very, very quickly, it almost looks like I'm faking it, but I'm not faking it. It all means something. I'm doing different energy points to my heart, opening up different heart, expanding my body. And this is the building of your massive, extreme monad body within your 11th and 12th chakra. You can heal yourself. Your hands, your walk around, your different, and it's been very interesting this past week. Painful, gruesome at times. Because within this, physical healing will come, but physical healing comes, and it's such a massive healing that it's hurtful at times, because my significant other almost was like, what are you doing to yourself? Because I would do different points to my head, to points, and I would find a point, it would knock, and then I would knock my head different points, and sometimes these points were hard, because your skull is very hard. But in order for a lot of these things to come through, you have to get these pressure points if they've been dormant and they've been calcified and they've been hardened. So they have to be back, they be healed in order for you to be who you really are. Heal yourself. Find that enlightenment that will show you everything about everything. Now, healing didn't just come from this. I know how to heal through pressure points. I just know. I started to massage my significant other through her feet, through her legs, and I just know. And it's weird. It seems to be weird and different. It's just because it's different. It's not weird. It's not understood yet. It's time for these things to be understood. I know all the mudras. I just know. And I know them fast. And I'm not making them up. As you can see, I'm doing it as we speak right now. I'm doing these things to certain points. I've been healing my body, different points of my body, different aspects of yourself. You'll learn lotus petals are very significant within your chest. And there's a point in the middle of that lotus that goes into your heart. And your lotus goes through your entire body, your entire chest, all the way down to your solar plexus. You have lotus, you do lotuses on your forehead, different points, on different points in your chakra here, chakra here. You have lotuses that you build and they evolve and they bloom. And they heal. And you learn how to heal other people through energy-wise. Now, the energetically is something that it's not so gruesome, and it's not really unable to be seen unless you're able to really see through your ninth chakra and your very evolved third eye. And then a lot of these things start to come through as well. You start to see and understand. Healing comes in many different ways: physical, emotional, and energetically, spiritually. Know how to heal yourself and other people in all three of those ways, all four of those ways. Find this within yourself. Learn how to walk in spirit so you can find that enlightened place to where you know how to heal, you know how to bless, you know what is real. Another thing that came a part of this is the embodiment of your archetypes. Separating. Now, through this whole process for this past week, after this experience, while I've been healing myself and spending a lot of time in meditation, many things have come up. Healing through my hands would walk all over my body to different points and different combinations. Spiral is extremely significant. The infinity side is extremely significant. This infinity side is within the lotus and in every petal. As above, so below. As above, so below. As above, so below. Infinity. Different polarities. As you start to heal yourself and unlock these things within yourself, you will start to separate. You will take out all personality traits, all ways, everything, and they will be separated into these archetypes. There's 7 archetypes. There's 7 chakras that these archetypes are based off of. There's 2 for each chakra. People say there's 13. No, there's 14 archetypes. 2 for each of the 7 chakras. People even say there's only 1. There's 13. 1 at your crown. No, that's wrong. Not with my experience. There's 14. Because through your entire physicality and spiritually, emotionally, you are both polarities. You are a perfect yin-yang. You are masculine and divine feminine. That's what you are. As you release all of these things, you start to bring them back into yourself and start to know what each characteristic of each archetype is, just like if it would be its own person, its own personality trait, comes with its own gifts, its own understandings, its own cellular memory, its own, like with me, 6 different types of martial arts from Chinese to Shaolin to many different ways to doing these things. I'm still understanding and connecting with these aspects of myself. But they become very physical, very specific, very easy to understand, because whenever you're in one, it's very easy to understand where it's at, where you are. You have 14. Even at the crown, there's not one, and to God, it's crown. You have, even your crown chakra has both polarities. Connected or disconnected. Everything is polarity. But both polarities give thanks to God. Every single time, healing comes in within this one of these archetypes. After you release and then download them back very specifically into each point, and them teaching you exactly what they are supposed to do, where they are, who they are, as they come out, and starts to be and these things become very understood and very specific. One will come in, one will heal, one will grow. As you grow energetically and mark and place the armor of God within you energetically. Another understanding of the seal of God and the mark of God, what these things are. Sacred spiral, infinity sign, making up a lotus, and also the sacred cross, with the third eye in your forehead, and going all the way down to your nose. It's the mark of God. So this experience was the most profound experience I've ever had. And I may ever have, I don't know. We'll see what happens. This existence in this world is not what you expect, not what you see it to be. You're way, way, way more. Whenever you say you're a multi-dimensional being, you are a very, very multi-dimensional being in a very, very significant way to understand that. There is an embodiment of God, an embodiment of archetypes of who you are. Depending on all the experiences that you've had all your lifetimes will make up all these different archetypes. Once you make up all these different experiences and you have these experiences to make up all these archetypes, well, something very profound will happen to you. It will happen for you. It will happen within you. And you'll be able to share it like this. Now this is going to be very significant coming up in very, very soon. More people will start to, this will start to happen for them. But not everybody was going to understand, because it's a very, very difficult and gruesome process sometimes. I have felt like I have been insane at times. But trusting the process, trusting what's going on, and just staying and just listening, staying in prayer instead of meditation. Languages will start to flow. Sanskrit, I have started to chant in different ways. It starts to come through. And I know it starts to come through, it starts to feel, and it starts to flow, and I start to do these chants. And it's a very significant chant. It's Om, it's light. And it's in Sanskrit, and I've been saying it in different ways. Om. And it's not the Namasi Vayavaya Namasi that I have been saying. It's something that I've never heard before. It's very different. Now, I'm not quite ready to release that yet, but I will soon. If you want to know more specifics about this, book a session with me. We'll talk more specific about these different things. We'll go very, very, very in depth about your experience, about my experience, and how we can talk about different things and commonalities and such. Life is not what it seems. intelligence is not what it seems. There's so many other ways to learn and to understand if you've let it flow through. The less blocked you are, the more these things will come through, the more these understandings will be more significant. They will flow through you. You will understand all there is to understand. You will understand how to heal, how to love, all the aspects of who you are. I'm doing it as we speak. There's a pressure point right here that systematically that needed to be touched, needed to be unlocked. I did the mudra very, very quickly in a combination of them. Had the point, put the energetic point, embed it, bless it energetically, have the energy run through your arms, flow, and heal. And that's all over your body. And this has been going on for a week now. At first, it was very gruesome. Bruising, I'm still sore in some areas. Up here, I'm still sore. But it's getting easier and easier and easier. I was in the bath, and I had a frequency hit me so hard, and it was so profound that it hit me into another frequencies that unlocked all the different other parts of my brain, that locked me into another point. So now whenever I'm in a meditation, meditations are much, much different now, very significant, very different, and very in-depth on with these archetypes, and blessing different points of your body, healing, and allow this to be taught to you. The more you connect with spirit, the more it flows through you. Allow it to do that. If you have any questions on anything that I've talked about, my experience, if you want to know more, book a session with me. Let's talk about it. Or comment below, subscribe, share it, and let's find out. But there's some things that are going on that not everybody's going to understand. That's very significant. I'm going to be doing a live video. I'm going to start doing live videos and live things so we can start asking questions for real in live ways. I think that'll be very significant instead of just watching videos. Let's open up the communication a lot more. Let's talk more. Let's understand more. Let's find a place to where we can bring people in and heal their bodies, heal their physical bodies. Let's find places to where they can energetically be healed, to where they're not going to have elements become physical. Let's find out how we can come together and engage with one another and emotionally heal each other through love. Let's find these different ways to do these different things. Let's heal ourselves, heal one another. Physically, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. So, thank you for listening to this experience. I'm sure that this is going to be talked about much, much more. So, be love, be divine, be true to you. Namaste.